So if money is making the world go round, why don't we, as a common sense thing, and Errol, I don't want to hear your thoughts on this. It seems to me as a community, we could just decide like, okay, we're going to make sure our kids master money so they don't end up getting taken for a ride and being
Right.
used by people that have more money than they do. In fact, I'll say this too. I'm going to do a whole commentary on this. I'd forgotten Errol was coming in, even though Errol's my homeboy, but I'd forgotten. I was going to actually talk about this singer, Summer Walker, who was literally, I've kind of teased our daughters about her because she's in their demographic, right? And all she was talking about was basically using men for money in relationships, right? And I said, man, it's so crazy that these poor kids that don't have money are selling their bodies for money and all
Uh-huh.
these other things. And when they have good fathers like you that are going to make sure they're provided for, they don't have to make these desperate decisions. So, can you give me some thoughts on just anything that I said? I'm not even going to frame it as a question, please.
Well, what you just said basically describes these women as being businesswomen, right? They're conducting business, maybe not legal or ethical business, but they're conducting business. They're studying business, they're implementing business. So why
Mm.
not, instead of you doing that at 30 or 35, why not you do that at 15? So you don't have to do those kinds of things by the time you're 30, 35. So we need to
You're
expose.
not talking about selling yourself for money.
I mean, it's the oldest business in the book, right? But it's maybe not legal or ethical, but that is business, right? So look, they're
It
businesswomen
is
at the end of the
business.
day.
Well,
They're
well,
businesswomen at the end
to
of the
me,
day.
I think for anything, right, when it comes to money, I mean, and I guess if we're going to work every day for somebody to do whatever, we are technically selling ourselves, right? We're selling our time and our
Right,
bodies, and you know. But I would say there's a difference between selling something for money because you want to versus selling
correct.
something for money because you have to, right?
That's right.
Like I agree with you. I think if people want to trade and transact in any way they want, they have a right to do that, but I think when you're doing it out of desperation, I
Correct,
think
correct.
that's the issue, right? Like, so if you consider the fact that if I did a survey of most of my friends who get up and go to work every day, and I say, if you didn't have to do this, would you still do this? Or
Right,
if they
exactly,
didn't pay you to
exactly.
do this, would you still do this? The fact that the answer is no is a little bit alarming because that says that you spend the majority of your time doing something that doesn't really make you happy,
Huh.
right? And it's not to say that I mean, don't get me wrong, sacrifice is important. Sometimes we have to do things we don't want to do,
Yep.
but to sacrifice and to know that there's not really even a good long-term benefit, that you're not really going to get more security out of this. It's not like the companies are taking care of their employees and showing loyalty. I think that's the issue, right? A lot of moves are made out of desperation, and desperation is the product of a lack of preparation, right? And so to me, I would say investing is just preparation. What would you say?
I take it one step further. It's mandatory nowadays. It's mandatory. It shouldn't be optional. It's really mandatory. If you have any ambition of being financially free, you need to execute. Okay, you can stop. We got to stop talking about it, and we got to start living it. So if you have any hope of being financially free in America today or tomorrow, investing in the stock market is mandatory.
Absolutely. Well, just so you know, Errol, it's next week. Errol is hosting the B1 Options Blueprint Weekend, and if you want to join and learn from Errol Steven Gall, that's his name. Here's a link to join.